Hello and welcome to today's video. My name is Mackenzie. This is Mackie Readings. This is going to be my May and June wrap-up. Let's pull up my phone. So in May I read 3 books, 1 novel and 2 manga. The novel I finished in May was Poster Girl by Veronica Roth. I had so many books in my May TBR and I didn't finish any except this one. Amber commented like, oh, I want to know what Poster Girl's like, and I was like, I will read Poster Girl, and it was the only book that I read. And I feel like I've talked about it a lot, but I don't know why I would have felt that way. Poster Girl, I'll give a bit more of a detailed review on this one because I was asked for it. So, Poster Girl is an adult dystopian novel and I loved it. Okay, so this is the main character and there was a government, I guess, and she was the poster girl for it. She was on a poster delegation, is that what it's called? Yes, the delegation. So they had an insight which explains why there's eyes everywhere. This is an eye. And it was like you put it in your eye glows. So if you want to Google something, basically just think about it and then it pops up. So you're like, oh, why is the sky blue? It would be like, you'd still see everything, but then it would pop up like why the sky was blue. I think that's how I pictured it. Anyway, so that was the delegation, but then you were also, like, people could see everything you saw, and depending on how you acted, if you upheld the delegation sort of moral code, you would receive a good score. Think Black Mirror, right? So if you lived how they wanted you to live, you got a good score. If you did things that they didn't deem was correct, you would have a lower score or be punished. And there was a 1 child only law. And it's very interesting. So this book takes place after the delegation fell. Some people were executed, some people were kept in, what is it called, Aperture? Yeah, Aperture, which was a prison, which had, it was like a small town full of old delegation people. And she's one of them, so yeah, when, I don't know why I'm rambling so much, sorry. Anyways, in the beginning of the book, all of the people that were minors during the delegation and when they fell and then have since become adults, or they are still teenagers or whatever, they were allowed to leave Aperture and re-enter society and go to school or whatever, except the main girl was 17 at the time the delegation fell, and since she was 17, I think 17, 18, they said, nope, she missed the cutoff. Yeah, I had to go help the kids with video games, which I'm not much help at all, but I kind of forget where I left off. I think that she was too old when the delegation fell. Oh yeah, she was given the task to go find this missing child. And yeah, so it was a dystopian, it was like a mystery. She had to solve this case, and it was really interesting because when you're reading it, she was quite brainwashed, I guess, into the delegation's belief. And when you're reading it, you're kind of thinking like, wow, the delegation was bad. And then you learn more and you're like, wow. And then you're like, is the new regime or whatever they are they good? And then there's like another sort of like the complete opposite of the delegation, like they hate all sort of technology. So what side is good? I don't know, but the delegation was bad. So you're reading it and the main girl, it's interesting because the main girl isn't always the best person. Like she did a lot of bad things in the past to kind of keep her score high in the delegation's rule. So she's written like as maybe not the best person, but she does go through a lot of growth and development throughout the story. I liked it. Throughout, it's a short book too, and you learn a lot about the character's family. You learn a lot about her. She goes through a lot of struggles because of how she was arrested. I don't want to give any spoilers, but I really liked this book. I really did. Next, I read How I Met My Soulmate, Volume 5. I also read Volume 6, but I don't remember if I read it in May or June, so I'll add it to my June. No, I'll just add it now. Why not? I read these two in May and June, and I really love this series. It's just, the art is just really nice, okay? The art is so crisp, clear, beautiful. The story is engaging. There's so much drama between the characters. Some of it is just kind of annoying because it's miscommunication, and that really bugs me. But it's just a sweet, cute story about family, first loves, discovering who you are, that sort of thing. It is a, what is this? On the back it says, a college romance that mediates on just what destiny means and whether the one is really out there. I really love these ones. Okay, then I also read a manga from the library in May, and it was His Majesty, the Demon King's Housekeeper, Volume 1. This one was pretty funny. I didn't end up reading any of the continuing ones that I got from the library. Maybe I'll get them later. I rated it 3.75. Oh, I rated the other books I just showed 5 stars. His Majesty the Demon King's Housekeeper was funny. It's about this girl in high school, I believe, and she loves cleaning. She's obsessed with cleaning. It is her hobby. She always has cleaning stuff on her. Anyway, she's at the library, and then she ends up falling through, or being grabbed kind of through this portal, and then she appears into this super dusty, gross place and meets the Demon King. And she's the only one able to clean up this like cursed ash. Yeah, so then she's kind of like idolized as this amazing person. I can't think of any better words. Yes. So that's kind of the gist of it, and it was just a fun read. I don't know. It was silly. It was good. Yeah. Oh right, and it was cursed mess because the demon did something. He offended someone and someone put a curse on him. And him and everyone else in his kingdom can't clean it up. But she's not from their realm and she's able to clean it up. And yes, that's that one. And then June, I read 6 books apparently. One of those I already showed, and that was How I Met Your Soulmate 6. Okay, then out of these ones, 3 of them are novels. So that's pretty exciting. I upped my reading. One of them I do not have, and that is Starling House by Alex E. Haro. This was for book club, and I really wanted to enjoy it, but I didn't really love it. I rated a 3.5. It might bump up to like a 4 or a 3.75. I'm not sure yet. I need to think about it a bit more. I thought that it was really interesting and it had a lot of potential, and there was a mystery, there was like creepy monsters, there was romance. It had a lot in it, and it was interesting. And it would have been really confusing to write and keep all those storylines organized, and I think it had a lot of potential. It felt a little bit flat. I was really engaged, and I just hit one point where I was like, wow, I don't really care anymore. But I pushed through, and the ending was very satisfying. So yes. Then the next novel I read was also for book club, and it was Alchemy of Secrets by Stephanie Garber. I started this one a long time ago and then put it down, never picked it up, and then picked it up for book club. And this one also was, the writing reminds me actually of Starling House, just because you don't have all the information and you're trying to solve a mystery. And it's a bit confusing. This one had a lot of promise as well. I feel like I really liked, it's windy, sorry, all my doors are bumping in the wind. It's written between like her folklore class and then current time. And it's just interesting because some of the folklore chapters kind of felt like they weren't actually the main character having the class. How it was written was a little bit different than the character chapter, so I kind of wonder about it, and I didn't mark down what ones, like I was like, like who is it really in this chapter, you know? And so basically she's following a bunch of different folklore stories to find the truth of her and her father, and like this clue, and her teacher and her sister, and these two guys that just appeared in her life. And it's just, there's a lot happening, but also some of it's really slow. And a part of me wonders, like, it was really confusing. Just trying to keep it all organized, especially because I read it over too long of a period. And that was confusing in a really well done way, where everything was so well written, you were just like, whoa, what's happening? Or was it confusing in a way where it wasn't written clear enough to follow? That's where I'm confused, and where I'm like, well, I don't really know. It was confusing, and there was a lot of mystery, and I never really saw what was coming next. And especially about the two male characters in the book, I didn't really know who was truthful, who was lying, who was good, who was bad, you know? I didn't really know what to expect. Now, is that good writing or is that bad writing, you know? I don't know. And I don't know why I feel so confused about it. It's fun not knowing what to expect, but then also when you're reading, you don't really know where you're going, and it kind of feels like you're kind of wading through a really thick and dense fog, trying to figure out what way the story is going. I don't know if that made sense, but that's my thoughts on that one. Next is Beneath by Ariel Sullivan. I finished this one just a couple days ago and I loved it. This one I rated 4.5. It is my highest rated book for June. This is a dystopian romance, and it follows a girl who lives under the ground. There's a bunker underneath the ground. There's a bunch of different jobs you could do. You can do expansion, which is building tunnels. You can go be in the force, which is patrolling all the communities, or you can go, part of the force is to go above ground and try and get supplies. And there's also, you can be a medic, you can be a cook, sanitation. So there's a lot of different jobs, and it follows the main girl, who's also known as Death's Angel because she worked in the medical ward and just didn't get sick. Anyways, her name is Sasha, and it's about her. I just want to know what happens next, okay? It ended in such a way where I'm annoyed that I can't immediately continue, but this is the prequel series to Conform, so I'm gonna start Conform soon, and that's a few centuries later. Oh my god. Okay, that was a local bookstore. They are doing a midnight release for the newest ACOTAR book. There hasn't been like a midnight release event in my town since Harry Potter. Unless like I missed it, but yeah, so yay. Yay. I have to say the bookstores have gotten a lot busier lately, which is good, but also really annoying because every time I go to get a book, it was dead. Like when I would go in with the kids, and even, I don't know, I feel like just this year there has been a noticeable increase of teens in the bookstore, which is really cool and really good to see. Also, sometimes I just want to get into the aisle and get my book and leave, but now there's a bunch of other people there. So the next two books are manga, and they're part of the same series. I read volume 1 and volume 2 of Takane and Hana. Anyways, these ones, and these are cute. Okay, also kind of weird. The girl is in high school, older age of high school, I don't know, 16, 17, and the guy is an adult, so it's like 20s, okay? I think there's a 9-10 year age gap-ish, approximately. So far, not really romantic, but they had an arranged marriage meeting. She went to take place for her sister, because her sister didn't want to go, and her dad was like, no, like, this is the CEO, owner, person, whatever, of the company I work for. We have to have someone go. Your little sister's gonna go for you. Pretend to be your sister. Don't mess this up. So that aspect of it is a little weird, you know? Those are all the books I read in May and June. What would my total be? I ended up reading 9 books in the month of May and June. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. And this is the newest addition to the family. This is Noodle. He is super cute and super loud. He was sleeping, so I woke him up. He's so cute. He's purring. Oh my god, Noodle. Nice cute little face. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.